I'm here representing Sex Matters, which is a human rights charity concerned with the human rights that require us to recognise the reality of biological sex. What we're doing here today is we're protesting against a trial of puberty blockers, which are powerful drugs that halt a child's natural development. Distressed children don't need drugs that stop them from growing up in healthy bodies. Every child has the right to grow up healthy and sound into full adulthood. And this trial needs to stop, and what needs to happen instead is that the 2,000 children who have already been exposed to these drugs, we need the data on how they have done. Why are we exposing new children to this experimental, dangerous treatment when we haven't even analysed the results for the children who have already been exposed? Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, needs to stop this.
I'm here because the idea of experimenting medical trials on 8-year-old children is extremely dangerous. Whatever the decision taken by the medical professionals will have a fundamental and life-changing decision on children who are too young to consent or agree to their bodies being experimented on in this way. And I think that is fundamentally wrong. I can tell you the numbers who've been in touch with me are vastly more worried about this trial going ahead by a huge degree. And we keep hearing terms like gender incongruence that have no legal definition, no medical definition. And so the idea that you're trying to prove or disprove something that you can't even define makes it very, very difficult to be confident in the medical outcomes, even were this trial to be properly conducted, which there are questions about even there. I have huge concerns that what this is an attempt to do politically, not the trial, but the movement, is to deny the existence of homosexuality either in men or women, and in some cases to deny the reality of women as a sex.
We are witnessing gay conversion therapy.
I like common sense, and this is against any form of common sense. So I'm here to protect young people from what I call malign human trials, which arguably will destroy their lives, and nobody will ever be held accountable.
I spoke the truth, and I called the man a transgender paedophile for that matter, and I was disciplined by the NHS. If we speak the truth in our workplaces and stand by our faith, you'll be disciplined or you'll be sacked. For Wes Streeting to go ahead for the trials for the young people is really destroying the future of the next generation.
Streeting, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and an end to the trial.
I'm chair of Liberal Voice for Women. That's the gender critical group in the Lib Dems. I'm here today to speak on behalf of Liberal Voice for Women, to present the Lib Dems as having a voice in this. Lots and lots of people are worried about this trial, whether it's Lib Dem voters or Lib Dem members. The YouGov polling all says the same. They don't agree with medicalising children either on puberty blockers or on cross-sex hormones. So I think it's really important that we have someone from the Lib Dems prepared to say that today. They've been told on social media, they've been told by activist teachers, they've been told by RSE providers, this is what they need, this will cure them, this will make them feel better. I think that's really hard to then have that weight on your shoulders that, okay, you're going to take these drugs, you're going to feel better, to then turn around and say, actually, I don't feel any better. How many children are going to say that? Do you know, it's a really big risk, and we've already seen with Sally Baxendale's paper, there's already evidence of cognitive problems with puberty blockers in the small studies that have already been done. So I'm really worried that we're putting these hundreds of children on this trial. There will be negative impacts. It's a one-way street to cross-sex hormones. 98% go to cross-sex hormones. And we know if children are given puberty blockers followed by cross-sex hormones, it's very, very likely they will be infertile. And for children at the age of 10, to have that as what's ahead of them, I think that's really worrying. And I think we really need to stop and think again.
My main concerns about the trial is permanent harm to children, and I don't feel children should be giving consent to that because it's not an informed decision. There is no medical need to do these trials. And what really worries me most is what is the aim of the trial, right? Is the aim of the trial to say, okay, it's fine and we should roll it out, because also the trial itself is not grounded in scientific evidence. I think anyone would be concerned on trials being done on our children.
We need to pause. We need to stop telling these children that they're going to do something terrible to themselves. That's not what anyone does to children. You don't tell them that the world is a disaster, the world hates them. You tell them that things will get better, and they will get better. That's what we should be doing for these children.
I'm a psychotherapist and I run GenSpect, and we work extensively with detransitioners, and we've met many detransitioners who've had their puberty blocked and they're devastated. They don't know who they are. They've never gone through puberty. A lot of them are afraid to reverse back. 98% of children who go on puberty blockers end up on cross-sex hormones. So they made decisions before they were capable of making decisions because they were kids, and they don't know how to come back, and they don't know whether they should come back. It's a very, very difficult imposition to put on children, and I don't think it should be done. I think it's a medical harm, and I think we've got 2,000 children who have already been on puberty blockers. They are in England today, they're in Scotland, they're in Wales, and they should be followed with the data linkage trial. It's quite clear that Wes Streeting has lost his way on this. He's going for what he thinks is an easier idea, which is a short trial. When he's got 2,000 kids, he's already should be following up. The people who understand it have really had their head turned and are shocked and appalled by this idea. This won't go down well in history. We have enough data now to know this is not working out as a medical intervention. So no, the public don't know, but when they will know, it's going to be dreadful.
On your children who've already been exposed to these things.